Hey, have you noticed a shift in how dental care is delivered? The landscape dentistry is evolving rapidly. What once was a field dominated by small community-focused practices is now seeing a surge in large dental groups. But what does this mean to you as a patient? Hey, joining us today is renowned and very popular dentist Dr. Murray Knebel to discuss this very question. We'll discuss the unique advantages of working with a boutique dental practice and how a personalized approach to dental care and oral health really makes a difference in your life. So let's jump in and enjoy. Today's episode of Top Dog Tips, we're talking about the dental profession and all the big changes that come through. And here to share some insights is a renowned long-term, very experienced dentist, Dr. Murray Knebel, who's going to share some of his insights. So, hey, Dr. Murray, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Greg. I'm honored to be here, and thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Yeah, excellent. So, if you can for us, describe the shift from smaller practices to larger corporate groups. What's going on there?
Well, what's happening, I think, is twofold issue. One is the expense of setting up and opening a practice, which is, the equipment and the technology is very expensive. So that makes it difficult. And the second is we have no business training. So in school, we're trying to come out of there and wear many hats. We've been trained very well how to do technical dentistry, but we've not learned how to be leaders. We've not learned anything about HR. We've not learned about managing and running a business, how to deal with banks, financing, lease companies. So often the stress of opening a new practice isn't just how to learn to do dentistry better and look after your patients. It's how to run a business. So then when somebody comes along and says, hey, I can just let you focus on what you want to do, and we'll stand behind the scenes and we'll give you some money and we'll take over your HR. It sounds really, really like the solution that you've been looking for.
I get that. It's all about making the dentist's life easier. But what are some of the potential risks, or what happens to the patients, and what happens when they go away from dealing with the boutique one-on-one service that dentists they've worked with for years? What happens when they go to that corporate office?
When the dental service organizations first came on the market, the practices they were buying were typically dentists that were my age at the end of their careers that were looking for an exit strategy. And the dentist would sell to the dental service organization, but then stay there themselves until they were finished the career. So the patient didn't really see any difference in what was happening in the office. The faces stayed the same. There was just an ownership change in behind the scenes. What's happened now is that the younger dentists are approached by these corporations, and the models are significantly different. So what the patient sees is, why is there a different hygienist every time I go? Why are the dentists changing? Why do I not, the last time I went in, the dentist said that I looked like I'm grinding my teeth and I needed a guard. This time I went in, I saw a different dentist, different hygienist, and they didn't even talk about that problem at all. So I find it's creating confusion in the consumer and in the way we're delivering. But the patient doesn't know that the clinic has been sold. There's nothing in Canada. There's not a sign outside that changed from Dr. Murray Knebel to Aspen Dental or Heartland Dental. In the States, they're more branded than they are here. Here, the models are keeping the name.
You highlight a very big concern. What I view my relationship with my dentist as a personal one-on-one. I'm not just going to let anybody dig into my mouth with sharp instruments and use your, I've got a healthy skepticism. Okay, I'll call it fear. So just letting anybody come into it. So if I'm just a turnstile client, I'm gonna be pretty concerned about the level of consistency. I'm sure the technical skills of the dentist are the same, but to your point, it's a continuity of services that I'm missing out on. So that's kind of a big downfall that I see from going to the corporates, right?
That's where I see the difference. And not that you can't have that problem in a small practice. If you've got a bad leader as a dentist and his staff are turning over every 6 months, you've got the same problem. The dentist might be the same, but you see a different hygienist because they come, they work, they don't like, and they leave. So it's not unique to just organized dentistry, but it's more common. I like to say that, like, for me, how can I help you get healthy personally if I don't know what your values are? I don't know how you grew up. I don't know. Maybe your mom had dentures, and
Yeah.
you got like a big, I do not want that. Like, I want to do anything possible not to see the difficulty my mom had chewing. If I don't know what
Yeah.
your goals and values and history is, how do I really truly help you be healthy?
Okay, that speaks to your philosophy of patient care, and it sounds like you approach it on a holistic health philosophy.
I would say that. I was talking with my wife about this the other day, and I've said to myself, I'm health centric, I'm holistic. But then I started asking, why am I getting so many people coming from I'm not the only holistic health centered practice in town. Why do we see so many people coming from others that have already found that place? And what I would say that differentiates this is I would be called myself people-centric, because your definition of health may be a little bit different than even your brothers or your best friends. Yeah. So if I come in at a level that I'm wanting, you're coming to me and I think you're health-centered, and now I'm judging you because, oh, you use a fluoride toothpaste, oh, you use this, oh, you still drink tap water. Well, you just came to another place that's judging your decisions in life. And I don't want anybody to feel that way. So I want to call myself patient-centric, people-centric.
Yeah, that's a powerful distinction. Again, my experience and family's experience, going to different dentists, there wasn't a whole lot of conversation around the holistic health that was coming through. It's mostly get in, drill and get out, drill and fill and bill. So, okay. So speaking of that, how does one go about, investigator finding the services of a dental practice, a boutique service, similar to someone like you that's going to offer that boutique personalized care? What am I looking for in a dental practice? What questions should I be asking about that?
If somebody lived in another city and didn't have access to our clinic, I would tell them to go interview where they're going. Like, does the clinic you're seeing have your values? Because yes, we all use technology and take diagnostic information and some records, but how do you and I both work together and collaborate to help you get to the level of health? Do we take x-rays every 6 months because you have an insurance plan and it pays for x-rays? Are our systems built around insurance, or are our systems built around helping you reach your ultimate level of health? That's unfortunately one of the things that we've done poorly, is we've created systems based on assuming you have insurance and all you care about is what your insurance pays for.
So Dr. Murray, you've been a dentist for a long time. You've seen a lot coming through, but I'm curious, what drives you? What got you started? Why dentistry? What, share with us what got you into it?
This is an interesting story. When I was young, we never went to the dentist. Didn't even know they existed. And then I had a toothache when I was 7 years old, and they had to find a dentist, and the cheapest solution was to remove my tooth. It was a permanent molar. And the dentist was talking my dad out of no, this is a permanent tooth. We want to make sure we can save it. And he lowered the price of the filling to the extraction. There's a whole bunch of negotiating going on. And I went home with a filling, but I went home with holy smokes, that man I never met cares about me. My dad was concerned about the money. This man was concerned about my health. And that day I said, I want to be that man. It kept me focused in school. It kept me focused through the hard times in university. And I've been so lucky that I've been passionate every day of my career. Wish I could go back and find that guy, but that little 7-year-old that had his tooth saved, it got into the greatest profession in the world, changed me.
Wow. I can see that brings up some pretty deep emotional memories for you. And you know what, I would like to just share from my perspective, from what I see, is you've honored that man with your action, and I'm sure you've worked with thousands of people, and you've really fulfilled part of doing good in the world, Dr. Murray.
Thanks. And I know one of my greatest joys is watching kids that I've been seeing since they're 3 years old say to me, I want to be a hygienist, I want to be a dentist, and watch them grow up and hopefully enjoy things. So I think we've inspired a lot of people over the years.
So you got your own little recruiting bench going.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's what brought my daughter into it, is watching how passionate her dad was about things. And, she helps run this business with me now. So honored.
Yeah. So your daughter is the hygienist there.
Yes. Yep. She owns the hygiene side of the practice and co-leads the place with me and created this vision.
So again, back to kind of your personalized care philosophy. Can you share a story, maybe a patient story, without mentioning names, of course, but just a situation where, what was their challenge and what prompted them to come to you, and more importantly, what was the outcome after working with you?
I would say, like, a general consensus that patients come to me with, because one of the questions we ask is, what level of health do you aspire to, and what level of health do you think you're at? And is there like a discrepancy? And then the conversation is like, where did that little spread come from? So often right now we're finding that spread has come since COVID. Since COVID, I kind of got out of my routine. I've not been seeing anybody. I think because I've been away for 3 years, and I'm finding the patients are often ready to judge themselves even more harshly than maybe they need to be. I want to be a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5, and I think I'm a 2 or 3, and they'll go because I haven't been in 2 years. So then, so they come in with, I would use the word shame. So they come in feeling shame about the decisions they made, and fearful of the judgment they're going to get because they've got some plaques or maybe a cavity. So, not just on one patient, but I would say the common theme is at the end of their visit, feeling that they're owning what's going on in their mouth. They have a better understanding, but they're leaving without feeling judged or shamed.
I guess, back to your earlier statement about what they don't teach in dental school. It doesn't sound like they teach you to be a psychologist either.
No, and or to be empathic. To get into dental school, and unfortunately, it's still the same way as it used to be when I came out, in the 70s. Yeah. Are you good at physics? Are you good at chemistry? Are you good at math? Do you have those science courses locked down and get good marks? Yeah. And nobody asked me during my interview at dental school if I'm a good listener. Am I empathic? How do I help somebody and coach and motivate them? That's not part of the requirements.
No, they don't tell you to extrapolate on the point of being a businessman. They don't tell you that you are now a salesperson and you are now marketing.
Yes. Well, and that's a problem. If I believe that I owe it to you to help you be healthy, and I talk to you about health, unfortunately, I've sort of been taught that I'm selling you something. Well, if you and I know each other and I know your values, and I'm just offering you opportunities to get healthier, I'm not selling you anything. We're working as a collaborative partnership, and that's a difficult place to be. Maybe you've been seeing me for 20 years, and I've got to give you some bad news, so I don't want to. I want you to stay like me.
Well, you know what? Yes, when you use the term selling, there's a lot of negative connotations come up. But I'll put it to you that with your experience, your knowledge, your profession, you've got a professional responsibility to help me or to help your patients. And if this is the next step, then I'm not selling you. I'm just helping you. I'm just helping you make a decision and helping you make the best decision for you.
Yes, and if you come in and go, hey, Murray, I just lost my dental plan. I know I used to come and see you every 3 months. I had lots of scaling units. I don't think I can come more than once a year now. Do I just stay quiet or do I talk to you about what that means? How do we help you? Why were you coming 3 times a year? Just because you had insurance, or because that's what you and our team thought you needed for your health? How do we help you stay on that same path, help you financially? Like, do you need, maybe you don't need to see the dentist every time, just the hygienist. Maybe you don't need x-rays as often as we were taking them because your insurance covered it. I hope we never did that to you, but how do we work together rather than me just writing a note in your chart? Greg lost his dental plan, doesn't seem to care about himself anymore. He's just going to get fat, old, and die.
All right, I'm going to challenge you and take you out of your comfort zone. I need a new dentist services. Why am I choosing Dr. Murray Knebel?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe that the way that we do an exam and introduce you to our practice will help you become totally in control of your health, rather than then I go to the dentist, I have a problem, I see the hygienist, the dentist somehow sees a new hole, we fix it, that you and our team will work together on a game plan that you could literally go then to anybody that'll technically, follow what you've already, what you need. So it's like, okay, Greg, you have 30 years left to live. What's your path going to look like? And with the technology we have today, I can help put a plan together for you that it'll be pretty accurate, bearing unforeseen accidents or trauma, that you can plan, budget, for your time, your costs, your pain and suffering. Like, where are you going? It shouldn't be that every 6 months you come here wondering, I wonder what they're going to find today when I go get my teeth cleaned. Yeah. There should be no fear, no anxiety. And that's the number one thing. Second, when you come here, you're going to notice that all my team work here because we are all congruent in our values and passion for what we do.
Okay. You're
not going to have different stories depending on the team member that you see. We are, like, all of us, when I said we're people-centric, everybody here has been hired to be that. Nobody here is going to judge you. Nobody here is going to make you feel bad. We Fantastic. All enjoy our job. You're going to come and find people that are having fun. It is not a professional environment. If you don't want to go to a dentist where you hear laughing and joy and patients hugging each other, this isn't your practice.
Yeah, it's so important to be comfortable and feel comfortable and feel that you're not in a sterile environment. I've actually been down to your office, and it's a beautiful facility. It's almost spa-like going into it. So
we tried.
It's working, my friend.
What we realized is that a lot of people actually the night before just a hygiene appointment are already losing sleep. They're driving here anxious. They're sitting in the parking lot not wanting to get it. So, and then as soon as they step in the door and they got the smells and the feel and the front desk, and we tried to change all that. If you walk down the hall here and before we put up our signage and people looked in, they would step in and go, "What are you guys building?" We intentionally made it look like it was like nothing like you've seen. So when you walk in, that anxiety of, oh, geez, I'm in the dental waiting room. No, it doesn't feel like it at all.
Yeah, fantastic. It's working. So again, I'm an old dude. We're both old dudes, but I've been going to the dentist all my life, and never once have I been approached to actually be enrolled into my own personal care, my own oral health care. Everything. It's always been defer to the authority of the dentist. He's going to tell you, oh, you need 16 teeth pulled. Okay. So the approach that you're talking through is I guess the question is how unique is that to you, or is that part of the new type of practices that are best practices that are out there these days?
I think there's a lot of us out there. I think it's for our team, our assumption is that everybody wants to keep teeth for life. Then if I see something that's going to stop that process or interfere with it, then, Greg, do I have permission to bring something up if I see a decision? So we'll go back to that previous conversation. Yeah. I'm losing my dental plan and I can only come once a year. Yeah. Well, if I really think you need to be here every 4 months, remember, Greg, when we had a talk 20 years ago about teeth for life? Well, I'm concerned your decision now is going to possibly alter that path. What can we do different? And it might be that you leave with an electric toothbrush, a water flosser, and you're going to brush twice a day and floss every day. Yeah. You're going to change your home care habits. That might be the solution. Or it might be, oh, I didn't realize it's only a couple $100 for a hygiene visit. I can do that twice a year out of my own pocket. But let's have a conversation around that. If I look at you and I look and it goes, well, it looks like you put some product in your hair this morning. Looks like you trim your beard. So if you're looking after and caring for yourself, why would I not assume that your teeth are part of that? So I'm going to make an assumption. Greg prides his teeth. So if you come in and say to one of my team members, hey, I see you guys do whitening, I'm not going to, hopefully my team member's not going to go, Greg, everybody your age has got discolored, stained teeth. You drink some water. No, if you want whiter teeth, I'll help you get whiter teeth. That's your face, your body, your smile.
Okay, we're starting to wrap up here, going through. So basically, if I'm looking to engage your services, Dr. Murray, what's the best way to learn about you? How do I get in contact with you? How do I start to engage with you?
You can follow the dental side of our company's called Toothbar. So just toothbar.ca. The hygiene side, kind of the Smile Bar, and they do the fun stuff on some of the younger people. Lots of whitening, tooth gems. Not too many of my friends are coming in for tooth gems, but surprisingly, some are. So, and that's smilebar.ca, and we're available on Instagram at both of those same tags, Toothbar and Smilebar, YYC, and we're located at Mayfair Place. So we intentionally picked a centric place in the city for easy access. Yeah. And my team's always happy to talk to you on the phone. Our web pages are pretty descriptive of what we offer, but nothing beats a personal phone call with one of my team members, and we can get you specifically for what your needs are. Excellent.
Thanks, Dr. Murray. So listen, audience, if you're looking for a new, improved, personalized dental experience with a renowned dentist and a team that's really into supporting you, do yourself a favor, give Dr. Murray and his team a call. So again, that's all the time we have for today. So Dr. Murray, thank you for your participation here. It was very valuable insights here.
Thanks. I love what I do, and we've got a passionate team here to help you. Whiter teeth, straighter teeth, healthier teeth. We do it all.
Okay, so listen, that's all the time for today's topic of Top Dog Tips. We've covered off the transition from corporate or boutique to corporate and back to boutique again for a dental experience. And so if you like what you saw, please share, like, comment, tell your friends. If you didn't like it, then keep it to yourself. So remember, success is a journey. It's the destination, not the end point. And for now, keep positive, keep moving, keep going forward. This is Top Dog Tips signing off. Stay tuned for more Top Dog Tips. We'll continue to bring you expert advice and inspiring stories to help you thrive in all aspects of your life and business. Until next time, take care.